When you're interested in getting into the Dota 2 scene, connections with long-standing individuals within the community is pretty essential to your career. And because of this, reaching out to people on social media can be equally as important as grinding out your main pursuit, like casting or general content. So that's why when I look back on my old days on Reddit, I die of cringe. So to give a little backstory, I started playing Dota around 7th grade after being introduced to it by my friends. And being an American, that's pretty rare. Most kids my age are playing League of Legends, which Riot arguably does a better job of promoting to the younger demographic, so I'd felt pretty alone when I'd found this passion of mine. And after having the privilege of flying out to TI6 with my dad, I'd realized that there is something special to the esports side of the game. I mean, come on, after EG versus eHome Game 1, you can't really blame me for getting a little bit inspired. Fast forward about a year, I made this Reddit post asking to interview a pro player. Our teacher had assigned us to write about a topic that we wanted to do, but I just used it as an excuse to finally get into the scene that I've always been really passionate about. And the reception was way better than I expected. I was really excited, if not a bit overwhelmed, being the 14-year-old that I was, and I jumped at the first opportunity that presented itself to me, which was from Complexity Manager Beef. We exchanged Skype usernames, and I got ready a list of questions to ask him as a team manager in the industry. I'm going to show a bit of the video here in just a bit, but I look back on the script that I'd written when I was 14, and the questions are pretty good for a kid my age. I'd say, at least. I don't know, maybe some other kid could have done it better. So, first question. What do you do in order to manage team complexity?
So I'm actually the general manager of Complexity. So as an organization, we have 4 different teams comprised of 22 different players, as well as stream teams and other personalities.
Problem is, after this great opportunity, I'd pretty much done nothing. I made an update post linking to the Google Doc with the paper that I'd written, but I made the mistake of setting the permissions for anyone to comment on it, so that went about as well as you can think. And afterwards, I felt pretty embarrassed about it, so I kind of distanced myself away from the scene a bit, not really knowing how to approach it again. But when I'd reached high school, I actually did get back into it. I play in this league called the Midwest Dota 2 League, which actually offers players the opportunity to attend a LAN in playoffs, and it was relatively nearby. It was about 2 hours, and that was kind of my dad's problem to actually drive me there, so I feel bad now thinking about that, but it was a lot of fun. And after winning, the second season, being the immortal god that I am, I had actually been offered the job to work as a production manager by the owner of the league, who runs the entire tournament by himself. His name is Matty. I love you, Matty. He's really dedicated to this. He's a great member of the community, and I really respect him as well. And that's actually something that I can put on my resume. So it was a really good opportunity for me. Sometime afterwards, I tried making my own Dota 2 high school league, because other organizers who had tried before me had pretty much failed, and I was pretty desperate for other kids my age. Unfortunately, it did end up falling flat because I was just not ready for that responsibility. In the end, though, I've made a lot of really good connections. Last December, I'd finally reached my goal of reaching the leaderboards, which was really hype for me and my friends. I was really excited about it, and in my first games, I'd gone against Sumail and Volker, which was not a fun experience, even with CCNC and SVG on my team, because as someone who how to explain this, got into Immortal just by spamming Venomancer and Beastmaster, I really didn't feel like I knew what I was doing, even reaching that rank. I'd also befriended Lil Nick, a young player who's known for being a friend of Purge, and also streaming himself, and another friend of his, Logical, so I'd finally reached that fulfillment of actually meeting players my age, so you don't really need to make a high school Dota 2 league just to meet other players like that. And shout out to Blitz. I was really spontaneous of how I approached him about, casting stuff, because I was interested in that as well. I haven't really pursued that much these days, but I really respect him and also Kyle. They're probably my favorite figures in the scene. And even though I'm not chasing that dream of going pro anymore, or even trying to grind out the highly competitive casting game, I still hold the community true to my heart, which is why I decided to make this channel in the first place. So thank you for watching. I've been Quiet K, and I do hope you can look forward to more videos in the future.